1039 Proud FM. This is your morning with Richard and Chris. And joining us here in the studio at 65 Wellesley Street East is the only blonde bombshell for me, Jules Leaf. How are you, my darling?
I'm so good. Your intros, what can I say?
Well, all I have to say is Fit Organics, your company, is one of the only other things I like to put in my mouth.
Love that.
I know.
Speaking of putting things in your mouth, what's with the full address you just gave out? Are you trying to get people to come down here and get us?
I want people to wave up at us as they walk to work, and they're not doing it yet. Wave at us, you miserable SOB.
Come on, where are all our stalkers?
No kidding.
We'll find out soon, I'm
all right,
sure.
in mere moments. Oh, there's one now. Hey. All right, Jules. It's Monday. Motivate us.
Motivational Monday, and we always like to talk about our health and fitness, and a lot of the time it's fun stuff, and a lot of the time it's not serious stuff. I mean, it's serious, but it's not that serious. But today we're going to talk about a little bit more of a serious topic, and that is the topic of mixed status couples. So that is couples, people who are in a relationship where one in the couple are HIV positive. And we do so much fundraising and supporting of AIDS awareness and AIDS prevention and all that kind of stuff. But the reality is that we're in a day and age where there's a lot of people who are infected with HIV, and they're in relationships with partners that aren't infected.
It's not the death sentence it used to be. It's actually considered a manageable disease
Exactly.
now.
And when I first moved to the city, it's quite a few years ago.
Last week, was it? Fresh-faced,
exactly.
right off the farm.
Exactly. It was the 90s, and it was a very serious time for HIV and AIDS, and the treatment options were not nearly what they are today.
No.
And so the important thing to know is that if someone now is taking some of the antiretroviral drugs, or the ART it's sometimes referred to as, their viral load, or the amount of virus that's present in their bloodstream, can be very, very low. So the rate of transmission, we're learning, when someone is taking ART and when someone is has a low viral load and is very healthy, their rate of transmission is a lot lower than it used to be. However, it's not to say that everyone's safe. And the second you go off your diet, the second you go off your workout plan, the second your immune system lowers slightly, and we all know how quickly that can happen.
Yeah.
You can feel amazing one day, and then the next day you feel like you're hit by a bus with a flu or a cold or something. And so it's important to know that there's a lot of measures that need to be taken by the infected half of that relationship. So the person that actually has tested positive with HIV needs to know that there's a lot of things that they have to do. It's not an option anymore that, you can play with your health. You can remain in a relationship. You can both remain safe. You cannot worry about transmitting the disease if you're using condoms, and also if you are taking care of your health. So after the break, why don't we talk about the exact measures that people have to take when it comes to looking after their health, and what they need to eat, what they need to do in order to make their medication as powerful and work as well as possible.
I like it. We'll be back right after this.
1039 Proud FM. This is your morning with Richard and Chris, and continuing her time in the studio for Motivational Monday, it is Jules Leaf, the founder of Fit Organics. And Jules, we are talking about a very important issue today, going a little bit more on the serious side, with mixed status couples, when one person has HIV and the other person doesn't, because you're in love, you're having a great relationship together, but that doesn't mean that you want to transmit your disease to somebody else. So you're actually talking about ways of keeping up a good diet, because you said that the better diet and the better lifestyle you lead, the less likely it is you're going to transmit it, yes?
Exactly. So mixed status, or serodiscordant couples, where one person is positive and one person is negative, is a reality that we deal with every day. And there's a few things that people should know about the medication. So the antiretrovirals, last segment I said ART and I meant ARV. They actually don't kill the virus, but they can keep the virus from reproducing. And that's how we
Right.
keep the bloodstream levels low. If the viral load in the bloodstream stays low, then you probably won't develop any AIDS-related illnesses. And that's what we want to keep going. And so with the ARV medications, some of them have to be taken on an empty stomach and some of them have to be taken with food. And there's a lot now that have to be taken with food, and we mean a lot of food, like 500 calorie minimum amount. And so, you know,
Why is that?
you know what? I don't know the exact mechanism, but what I do know was that when they were doing drug trials, and a lot of the drug trials were done in African countries where the prevalence of HIV infection is very, very high.
Rampant.
Sadly, they found that it was very difficult to gauge those medication responses because of the malnutrition there, right? So they're throwing medication at this, and all these lab testing showed that it should work, and then when they went to actual human trials, it wasn't working. And so the bottom line in North America is that we do have access to schedules, and we do have access to food, and we do have access to nutrition, and it's very important for people taking antiretrovirals to keep on a well-balanced protein, carbs, fat, all the whole food you can get, as little alcohol as you can get in your system, the better. In fact, I know that they tell you no alcohol when you're taking those medications because your liver is already busy doing a lot of other work, right?
Yeah.
So that's one thing to consider. You're not going to go fasting. You're not going to do juice fast. It's best to stay on real food, whole food, and, as much of it timed with your medication as possible in order to keep, again, the positive partners' blood levels down, and that keeps everybody safe. The other thing is your immune system overall. So if you're feeling run down, or if you're not feeling like you're feeling that great, normally when we are HIV negative, you think, oh, I'll go to the gym because sometimes that livens me up, or oh, you know what, I'm sure I can just brush this off. When you are the positive partner in a mixed status couple, you want to make sure that you're really listening to your body, and so stay home, relax, eat a nice meal, go to bed, have a nap, do those things that you need to do to take care of yourself. Don't pop a fat burner and hit the gym like we might do, before we were HIV, before that person was HIV negative. What were you going to say?
Back to the fat burners. There's fat burners now?
No, there's not fat burners.
All right.
No, there's not. Let's pretend they don't exist. The last thing is that if you're not feeling well, or you become sick, even if your blood levels were very low or are consistently low, it doesn't mean you still can't transmit. It means it's more unlikely to.
Yes.
However, the minute you start to feel crummy, or the minute you pick up a cold or a virus or a flu, your blood levels can spike. So that means that you could transmit. So for those people in mixed status couples that have become, like we all do, a little, who stays on top of their game all the time? If you're getting a little bit careless with your protection, or if you're getting a little bit, you've been feeling good and your blood levels are consistently good, you're getting a little careless with your diet, stay on it, people.
Yeah. Do it. Jules said so.
Exactly. Keep your nutrition good. Keep your fitness levels good. Listen to your body, and stay healthy, even in a mixed status couple.
And one of the best ways to do that is with Fit Organics itself.
Well, I wasn't going to say, but yes, if you get my meal delivery from Fit Organics, that's Fit Organics with an X, that can keep you really healthy, just saying.
She will keep you on any diet that you want to be on and make sure that you stick to it, because, Jules, you are fantastic. You're the best motivator, and you always make our Mondays even brighter. If you want up-to-the-minute information on Fit Organics, you're on Twitter, Fit Organics with an X, and also the website is fitorganics.com.
Exactly.
Fantastic.
FitOrganicsWithAnX.com. Awesome, guys. So a little bit of a serious message today.
Well, it's about time.
Yes, next week we'll go back to fun. Thanks, Jules.
Thanks, guys.